Analyzing anger in spirituality. We can sometimes get angry during a relationship with others. It is essential to analyze when we get angry and how we prevent anger in the future. It is wise to focus and understand why we get angry. Firstly, we get angry when we lack understanding. In other words, when we are angry, it means that the mass of our beings is weak. A person who gets angry easily means their original energy is big. In other words, their goals are big and high, and so they want others to listen and follow them. If they don't have the skills to talk to others and can't make others understand, they would get angry. For example, I want my child to listen to me and follow me, but if I don't have the wisdom to make them understand and follow me, they won't do what I say, and I will get angry. At this point, I don't mean to blame my child, but I have to admit that I don't have the skills to make them understand. You wouldn't expect the other person to listen to you, but it is a law of nature that the other person will follow you as much as the other person understands, depending on how well you talk to the other person so that they can understand you. When we say and do things, we do it for the sake of the other person. If you don't make the other person understand what you say or do, it's your fault. But you shouldn't get angry if you don't understand them. At this time, you have to reflect on your lack of understanding and knowledge. Secondly, we don't go to any place if we don't have anything to learn. The way we live our lives varies widely. When I go to a public place and see someone spitting on the ground, or when I see someone doing or saying something bad, it means that I'm on that level, and when I realize that I have similar flaws, I would not get angry, but I have to take it as a study. If I don't have those flaws, then the universe doesn't lead me to these places. Then, when we look at these flaws and think about it in order to take it as a study, the questions such as, why can they do and say these things in this knowledgeable society, tend to be the basis of our research. We have to ask ourselves questions and embrace those bad words and actions. In the process of observing, investigating and sorting out the flaws of our environment, then we would become an understanding member of this society and able to complete a reflection on our flaws. If we fully comprehend those flaws, then we will have to not go to these places. When we go to work or go to a public place, we go there because we have something to learn. So if we don't take these situations and this given environment as a study, we would easily become angry or blame others. Thirdly, what makes you angry or not depends on your perspective. If you're eating delicious food and the other person next to you is touching smelly garbage, depending on your point of view, you can either continue to eat or you can get angry and blame the other person. The difference between humans and animals is that we have a high quality of knowledge learned. So depending on your point of view, you can embrace and digest everything, or you can point out each one and get angry. In other words, depending on whether you have a sufficient amount of knowledge and the ability to understand the other person, you can get angry or love, embrace the other person. When we see the other person's flaws, we rethink why they have to do what they do, and when we try to find a better way, we don't get angry and embrace the other person. The moment we think the other person has done something wrong, we get angry and it becomes difficult. You might think the other person is at fault. It is your point of view. However, it is not the other person's fault in terms of point of view of the universe. You are seeing that the other person lacks the intellectual capacity of what they are doing. So, once you get angry, you will not understand the situation or the person yet. So it becomes difficult for you to continue to see the good things until you realize your own flaws. What we are seeing in society right now is that if we have left society uncared for too long, there will be a lot of bad flaws that will become more apparent. Seeing these flaws, a person should try to make an effort to resolve the negative aspects of an environment. But it is not right to blame instead of trying to solve these issues. These flaws happen because you as a person didn't do anything for society. And when you blame society for being wrong, the fault will come back to you and make life a little more difficult each time. Lastly, do you get angry at others or do you scold others? When others do something wrong, we get angry or scold them. At this time, if we are angry, the other person will be in a bad mood due to our negative energy, and if we scold the other person, they will understand what they have done wrong and will not feel bad. They will be convinced and will admit their wrongdoings. It can be said that we have corrected the other person's wrong habits. Judging whether your actions were either just getting angry or scolding is that if you are angry, the other person feels bad when you point out their faults. If your words convince them and cause them to repent their mistake, I will say that you have helped the other person by scolding them. Depending on the other's standard of judgment, the same words can be interpreted differently. The bottom line is that our true strength comes from our inner power. In order to develop your inner strength, you should absorb a lot of knowledge, digest everything, and fully understand what the other person is saying or doing. Anger will not come out spontaneously. It is said that when we are born, we bring 70% of good energy and 30% of negative energy. That's why everyone has bad habits, because of this negative energy within us. When we need to be angry, it's better to get angry than not to be angry. After we are angry, we can see what the outcome is, and we analyze why we are angry and make an effort to admit our faults. If we don't get angry and hold back for a long time, this bad energy can have a negative effect on our body and lead to a disease. So, it's not good to be patient in terms of holding your true emotions back when there are things wrong. When we do eventually let our anger out, it is essential to reflect upon ourselves and why we got angry. We will be able to understand other people's flaws and embrace them. Understanding our flaws within other people will allow us to not get angry in the same situation again. The writing provides a profound insight into anger and spirituality. The key points are as follows. Lack of understanding. We feel anger when we fail to understand others. This anger signifies our inability to effectively convey our intentions. Environment and learning. The environment we are in offers opportunities for learning. By observing the negative situations and people around us, we can recognize and improve our own flaws. Importance of perspective. The situations that trigger anger vary depending on our perspective. By having the right perspective, we can foster understanding and inclusivity instead of anger. Solving problems over blaming. It is more beneficial to work towards resolving societal issues than merely pointing them out. True strength. Our true strength originates from our inner power. To nurture this, it is essential to gain knowledge and fully comprehend the words and actions of others. The need for anger. Occasionally, it's necessary to express anger, and doing so can be beneficial for our health. However, after expressing this anger, it's crucial to analyze its root cause and acknowledge our own shortcomings. In summary, this piece provides foundational insight into the causes of our anger and strategies to manage and overcome it. Adopting the correct perspective and striving to understand both ourselves and others can reduce feelings of anger, leading to a healthier and more peaceful life. The ability to manage and understand anger not only aids personal growth but also significantly improves relationships with those around us. Thanks for watching.